Die Hard, Christmas, best.
Sure.
It is the best Christmas action movie of all time.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you're gonna
number
copy,
2, Big It's a Wonderful Life.
right? Number 2 is No Wonderful Life. Number 3, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
Hail, Internet! It's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. We are here talking about Star Trek Discovery, Season 3, Episode 12, There is a Tide. So it's our penultimate episode of Season 3. Oh, right, very good. That was a good interpretation of a tide, Paul. We open with Osira aboard the recently captured Discovery. She's trying to get Federation headquarters to lower its shields by pretending to be under attack by her actual ship, the Viridian. We saw this move in the season finale of The Mandalorian as well. Oh no, help me, I'm trying to get... Oh, thank you for lowering your shields. Ha 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 ha.
Boy, those Trojans were really just,
That's right, they were way ahead of the game.
Yeah, in fact, we don't need to do anything else anymore.
Damn, this works every time. How did we not just do this? We end with Tilly and the recently escaped officers encountering the shield data in the form of maintenance robots. It's apparent that the shield data is going to help Tilly retake the ship. That's where we leave off, the little cliffhanger for the season finale. Paul, before we launch into stuff, general thoughts about this episode, sir?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was real fun. The stuff between Vance and Osira.
Very interesting.
Perhaps my favorite. Because of the implications of what that might mean.
Right.
I'll be disappointed if the armistice isn't brought back in some form.
Good. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
Let's definitely put a pin in that. Let's talk about that. Yeah.
And I was, I kind of surprisingly enjoyed the crew's little drama play in order to distract the guards and win out.
Oh, sure. Right.
And
I'm not going to get killed because you guys are bored or whatever the line was. Yeah.
I don't think they're going to like that very much. Like, come on, you had to like that reading. Tilly came with I'm the sarcastic teenager making fun of you.
Bang.
So it was a lot of fun, the episode.
There was a lot to like about this episode. I agree. A good combination of some high stakes action, but in retrospect, there were several effective talking head scenes intermixed with the action. As you mentioned, Vance and Osira. We got this scientist Aurelio talking to Stamets. We have a very highly charged conversation between Stamets and Michael Burnham. We'll talk about those in a bit. But yeah, so there was lots of like. Jonathan Frakes directed it.
Maybe like we saw a preview of the scene between Osira and the Admiral Vance, or Elizabeth, they're sort of talking with her, and I was like, man, they made it that far? Like, geez, that's...
Right, it felt like, just from the trailer, it felt like, Federation surrendered really fast.
Yeah.
But in fact, they were meeting to negotiate.
Yes.
As it turns out. So, just real quick on the title, There is a Tide. There is a Tide comes from...
It's, what is it, the... Beach Boys or something? Is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Or is it the Go-Go's? What is it?
The ocean's kind of cool when you go to the beach this time of year. Woo. No. There's a Tide. It's a Julius Caesar quote. So from Shakespeare. However, interestingly, it's not Julius Caesar who's saying the quote.
No.
It is, I would say, the villain of the piece, Brutus. Brutus has already participated. Yeah, it's Bluto from Popeye. Okay. Brutus has already engaged, participated in the assassination of Julius Caesar. He's now near the end of the play, getting into a battle with Mark Antony, and he's trying to rally his troops. This is his St. Crispin's Day speech. Similar to Henry V, except he's the bad guy, and it doesn't go well because he ends up committing suicide. But so just the whole quote there is, "There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures. I think so. The idea being like there's a momentum to this. Oh, look, the tide is coming in. The moment is right for us to act. If we wait, if we delay, and let the tide just go on without us, by the time we act, it's too late, and the moment is lost. So I feel like this is basically our villain, Osira. The idea being, okay, this is the moment when I'm going to try to make this alliance with the Federation, and we're going to try to make this work. This is the moment. If her fate is similar to Brutus's, it apparently doesn't go well, for her at least. But anyway, so interesting that they did a quote from the villain's point of view.
Sure.
Zera is back. They telegraphed it in the previously on. You're like, oh,
yes.
I guess he's coming back. When last we saw this guy, he was a courier that was screwing over a planet early on in this season.
Yes.
He threatens Saru and Tilly and eventually gets overtaken, and they send him off to his death, presumably, in like hypothermia, go into the colds and die. His hand got apparently irreparable even by modern standards or future standards.
You can kind of see how they're tipping their hand in that probably the only few people they've opposed who called out Tilly and her inexperience.
Right, right.
It's like, it's him and Osira. Huh.
Zera actually gets to play our Hans Gruber for this episode,
yes.
In that there is a diehard scenario played out. It's not the entire episode, but it is. There is a diehard scenario being played out between Zera, Hans, and Michael Burnham, McLean, complete with Hans. Hans kidnaps a bunch of folks, is holding them captive. Michael McLean is going through a lot of vents, a lot of Jeffrey's tubes.
Yep.
Talking to Hans on a communicator.
Yeah.
And then killing off the minions one by one, and where I thought it went from like homage to almost a parody is when she loses her boots. I'm like,
yes.
Jeez, okay, we got it. It's Die Hard.
Yeah, I don't think if they somehow shoot out the glass and it falls on the floor, by that time maybe that it would break, but not in a way that would damage your feet.
It was around Christmas time, so a lot of people.
Oh, there you go.
Die Hard, Christmas best.
Sure.
It is the best Christmas action movie of all time.
Yes.
And if you're gonna
number
copy,
2 being It's a Wonderful Life.
right? Number 2 is A Wonderful Life. Number 3, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna copy from somebody, you might as well take one of the greatest action movies ever and go, look, we did that. So they did that. But I would say this, because Zera had been defeated earlier in the season, he doesn't have the gravitas that Hans Gruber has. It's like, oh, well, you guys beat him before. Like, he doesn't seem like this invincible genius that you can't outwit. It's like, oh, we outwitted him back in the day. Anyway, but
because the person who's not there anymore came and saved him.
Sure, but I'm just saying they beat him.
Yes, they did.
They beat him, and they've beaten him apparently again. I do like. I like Vance in that he makes intelligent choices throughout this.
Yeah.
He's not playing the idiot bureaucrat, which would be another Die Hard trope, right? In Die Hard, all the bureaucrats are idiots.
Yes, they are.
In this case, no, Vance is he's not just an idiot when Discovery's coming in.
Right.
He's not an idiot in dealing with Osira.
Right.
So, I give credit that they wrote him as a reasonably intelligent leader figure. So good on him for that.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah, it makes for a better story, frankly.
One thing that was expressed is we haven't seen this president, and we still haven't seen this president.
Yes, what was that? I was like, shoot, I thought he was the leader. So that was. I thought Vance was our.
I think we did hear that the Federation and Starfleet are separate.
Okay.
When they first sort of discovered them.
But what does that mean? Like, that could just be, oh, hey, we just haven't introduced that character yet. Or...
Yeah, I feel like that's it.
You think that's it? Okay. Could it be there isn't one? Could it be it's a robot? Could it be... I don't know. Like, it was just like... It was left out there.
Yeah, they might not have made a decision yet about, what that character is about. And he's the one we know. It doesn't seem that, since it's a security issue, it makes sense, that he should be the one to negotiate, so he's aware of the different issues.
Do we think that Osira is serious about wanting an alliance?
You don't trust Eli?
I don't trust Eli. She knows how to beat it. Hey, Georgia was like, blink, 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 I beat you. So who knows?
That was the best part where she's like, is that somebody who is under your influence? No. She's like,
yeah.
Let me try it again. Come on, let me do it again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she was apparently in that moment trying to. I think her mind was, oh, you know what? I'll make Aurelio my stooge.
Yes.
I can't do that? Ah, crap. I mean, just in case we forgot that she's evil, we get to see her murder Rin.
Yes, we did to see that.
He defenseless. He's like, he gives some impassioned speech, and she's like, boom, and he's vaporized. It's not like, he'll come back. Compress. Do compressions on. Like, there's nothing to compress.
And I almost expected her to look over her shoulder to make sure, like, is Aurelio looking at me?
Right.
Doing this so he can,
So
really
he could judge me later for this and realize that I'm a terrible person?
He's like, so he can really appreciate everything that I've done?
Right.
See what I'm forced to do?
So what, and good point, what that suggests to me is, they've set up Aurelio as, look, this is this brilliant scientist, and he's all for Osira because she helped him when he was, in need, and he's worked for her, and he hasn't seen her be evil face to face until this moment. Oh, God, right. She just killed this guy. So it suggests he's going to turn tables and work against Osira.
Right.
So what that means to me is, if that's the arc, that she isn't serious about the alliance, right? Like it seems to me that she's being evil.
No, I think. Well, I mean, if she got in her way, why wouldn't she be serious?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not making a theory on this, in fact, because I'm leaning to the idea that she is serious about the alliance.
But why wouldn't she be?
I don't know. Maybe there's a something we're not seeing that's like, while I'm here in the Federation.
She's frustrated. It's clearly, like, fine, I can't get way that I want, and obviously, she's not willing to sacrifice herself for this new vision. Yeah, it's all, great. So yes, now she's like, fine, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna fall back because,
Yeah.
Until then, it was really surprising. Remember, I said the last time, I was like, wow, you think she would just kill Tilly?
Yep.
It's like, you've got what you want.
Or in this situation, kill Vance.
Her problems wouldn't necessarily be solved. I mean, she doesn't know about the planet.
Right. She does now.
Right. Now she knows about it.
Because Book told her, but yeah.
Yes. You didn't need to kill the guy. You could have just put the drugs into him.
Remember, she's the one that fed her nephew to this big worm or whatever. So they've shown her as she's evil. Yes, she's bad.
Yeah.
And so I guess we get this idea that indeed the Emerald Chain is running out of dilithium. They're desperate.
Yes.
And so that's what's brought them to this moment. And so it's a good faith effort to try to ally with the Federation. And Vance brings up the good point. Well, look, you've already got the Discovery. You've got the ship, and you've got a scientist who's trying to replicate it. Probably eventually will figure out a way to replicate Discovery. So what do you need us for? And she basically seems to want the Federation to validate what they do. Like, look, we want you to rubber stamp, give her your approval that we're not evil, I guess, to the
and I was a little dubious watching it again, except one thing they talk about is all the different trade that they want, and it's better if they don't have to fight and hide and do this other stuff. It's just out in the open, that there has to be a cost to everything that is happening with the Federation. So if they could, limit that, obviously that would help out.
Right. And you get the sense that it is, this isn't space Nazis. It's like, oh, the Emerald Chain's actually, while they're being bad in a lot of places and mobsters,
yes,
they are actually providing a service to these outer planets that otherwise would not have ability to trade so they are. It's not like they're 100% bad. They're maybe 65% bad or something like that.
They've only expressed objectives to everything bad they've done.
Vance kind of ends this whole thing by insisting that she allow herself to be put up for trial, which makes sense. I mean, although maybe in the spirit of diplomacy, I might not have pushed that right yet, because he has to know that's a deal breaker. As soon as he announces, oh, and by the way, I want you to stand trial for your crimes, that's going to end things. She's not going to say, okay,
well, he
great,
does
turn
try
me
to
in.
sell her on it. Oh, you'll get justice. Don't worry.
Right. So, I mean,
yeah, you'll get justice.
Yeah, I guess he's hoping for the 2% chance that she's like, you know what? The Emerald Chain is more than just me. And, you're right. I'll spend the rest of my life in jail for the good of the Emerald Chain. No, this character, what we know of her, would not do that. Yeah. So he knows in some ways that he's ending it.
You think they, we live in a world where powerful people rarely get their comeuppance.
That's true. She could be like, oh no, okay, a trial? All right, so like in 2 years' time, I'm going to file some appeals. I'll be back on my home planet. You can send me stuff via our holograms, and we'll chat about it. All right, anyway, move on. So, yeah, good point. Trial doesn't necessarily mean, and I go to prison forever. Yeah. But, it would be a more compelling storyline if they do keep this armistice or this alliance between the Emerald Chain and the Federation going. That it's not a ruse.
I mean, in terms of a new normal, I think is what they're definitely wanting to establish, and with going to planets that are in the bubble, who are like, okay, we're phasing stuff out. Don't worry, we're phasing out the slavery and the, and the other stuff.
Right. On the scale, we're like, we're on the good meter. This Aurelio character, who is Emerald Chain's Stamets, essentially. The background on the actor is interesting in that he has played a few different Klingons earlier in Discovery.
I think I'd heard that, yeah.
And the actor has ALS. So they incorporated that into the character.
I'd be surprised if he didn't make it to the next season, even though I would expect, Osira not to.
Right.
I think them finding a way to, the Stamets and him could find a way to spread that technology to other ships.
Yeah, I feel like Osira may go the way of Brutus. May do the no other way out, suicide, or something like that. Who knows? There was really no mention of the burn in this episode. Obviously the episode before was like, oh my God, we figured out what caused the burn. And then we left them, and we did. And I think in some ways it was to the benefit of this episode.
Oh, sure.
It was a better episode because of it. It's like we don't need to know what caused the burn in order just to see Emerald Chain and Federation are at odds.
Yeah.
Osira stole the Discovery. Okay, we got that. It's like the burn is almost irrelevant in that moment.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see if they can somehow stick some kind of landing where they suddenly, because they've been trying really hard to make the burn relevant. Like the cause of the burn, it's so important to life and how we're going to go forward. And so I think they're going to try to do that in this last episode, because they're certainly going to return to the burn source.
Sure. Yes.
But I'm like, at the moment, I don't see it. At the moment, I'm like, what? You don't need it. You don't need to know all that stuff. Just focus on Emerald Chain and the Federation.
Well, now you know that there's not some great calamity waiting to happen, provided you can, offset the effect of this kid.
Right.
That there's not some off if everybody gets dilithium again. You just got to watch out for that. So presumably they can mine off this planet and get dilithium to everybody. Then and also now the Vulcans could. Oh, it really wasn't our fault. Oh.
Right.
Part of everybody coming back into Starfleet.
And certainly that message that Burnham sends to her mom is a way for the Vulcans to kind of show up heroically. Yeah. They're going to save the day at some moment. And we're back and we're...
We're here to ruthlessly tell the truth.
or they show up and actually, I say Vulcans, the Navarre, because they're the Romulans and Vulcans. Right. But they show up and, it's wait, what caused the burn? Okay, all right, we'll join in then. That's fine. As long as it's this guy, it wasn't the thing. We're fine then. Obviously that dilithium will be certainly very beneficial. And they did throw out the idea that you can't replicate the spore drive, or Stamets is hedging his bets. I think Stamets is not outright lying, but basically trying to discourage this talk of the Emerald Chain figuring out how to replicate the spore drive.
I don't think so. I think he was just trying to. He didn't have faith that they'd be able to do it.
Right.
And so the guy's saying, "Well, hey, we got ways of doing
it."
We
got technology.
To say, "Look, you're going to have to do something against your morals. You would have to kill me to get this doing." Like, no, we've got other ways. So I would be surprised if the only effect of that discussion is just so to prepare Aurelios to betray, Asira.
Yep.
It's like, just talk about how to, it's like, how long do you think they're going to go before they figure it out? And it's like, I don't think it's a good idea to have just the Discovery only have this technology. I just don't.
It also doesn't really make sense. Like, it's there. You can replicate it. Like, do it.
Yeah. So, they had problems before, and now they'll find the plot reason now. We figured it out.
Yep, got it. We did it. Now, that discussion between Aurelio and Stamets is also, we get to have Stamets voice how important Culber and Adira are to him, because he does this thing about how Adira, my family.
Yes.
I don't know that they've laid all the groundwork for that. Yeah. Obviously, he cares deeply for Adira. Yes. So, but to say my
does
he say my child? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know about that, but anyway. But he lays that out there because he's trying to put a human face on the person who might be about to be tortured to Aurelio. Look, I'm a person. Let me my name and their names of people I love. Let's get to the thing that I had a problem with at the time, and then I might be in the minority.
Now we can elicit our audience's opinions here.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think there's a wrong or right.
No.
There is a wrong or right. It's true, and I'm probably wrong. It comes down to Michael and Stamets. Okay.
Yeah.
Michael has
one of the things I think to make a distinction in between. What do you think the author's intentions are? As well as what's happening in the scene.
I'm not sure that I understand the distinction there, but okay.
One of the things you're imagining is like, and then she'll just get away with it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think with the outcome of this scene certainly impacts how I feel about it. I think that is possible. But it's so Michael's been able to John McClane her way around the ship, and John McClane's her way into the engineering section. Yes. She knocks out Aurelio. Yes. She rescues Stamets, and then he's like, "Oh boy, we better get back to the nebula because Culber and Saru are about to die from this radiation."
And then she's like, "Don't forget. Also,
Adira." He's like, "What?" He just gave a speech about how they are his child. So, he gets this information. They've got certainly hours left to live, basically. So he's like, "Okay, we're gonna do this. We're going back." and she does the Vulcan neck pinch.
Yes.
Knocks him out, puts him in a case, and shoots him out into space forever. No, okay.
Yes.
He gets picked up. Okay. so she assaults him, essentially, right? To keep him from doing what he wants to do, she physically assaults him.
Yeah.
Which is what she did back in season 1 when she physically assaulted Giorgio to keep her from doing what, like, look, I know best how to deal with the Klingons. Right. So, I'll do my thing. So, it seems like the same character that was making mistakes back in the day, and I'm not convinced that Stamets' plan isn't. Sure, it's driven by I have no other needs. I must save my loved ones. Got it. But I think in actuality, it's not a terrible idea to remove the Discovery from this standoff at Federation headquarters.
Right.
Perhaps also save your crew.
Right. A reason why you might do that is if the Discovery is more danger to where they are than they would be if they went to where they're trying to go.
Okay.
And so the fact that they're surrounded and they're only in danger of being destroyed takes away from some of the, like, okay, we've got to get this thing away. That'll improve the situation.
Okay. I hear you, that they're more likely to get blown up than they are to do the blowing up, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and her plan is not, then let's light these motherfuckers up. No, her plan is let's get out of here. So they're helping her do what she wants to do.
They're helping...
I mean, Stamets would help her do what she wants to do.
When you say her...
It would help Osira do what she wants to do.
There's another part to this, which is, he is correct that Saru, Culber, and Adira are in mortal danger.
Yes, that's true.
And also, known to Michael in particular, but maybe also to Stamets, is the fact that, Sakal, the only reason Sakal didn't do terrible damage to the Discovery like a day earlier was that Saru was there to sing this song to him, this lullaby, right, to calm him down.
Yes.
So, assuming that in however 12 hours, let's say, Saru and company die, they leave Sakal alone with this monster creature that they released from a door. There is a potential chance that you are also putting the Quadrant in danger for a second burn if you don't go save the crew. In other words, helping Sakal overcome, his fears and such like that too. So there's a Sakal burn factor to saving the crew, not just needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, which is I think what Michael is going with the notion, right?
Yes.
Now here's the thing. So she does this. She assaults him. And he does this thing about a very impassioned speech where he's like, we came to the future for you. Like, he's really upset about it, as he would be.
He is. Do you need him to never forgive her?
Never's a long time. But I do need him to... I don't want... Next episode, at the end of... They're going to save Sakal. They're going to save the crew.
Yes.
At the end of all that, if he's like, you know what? That was a real aspect there. I'm sorry, Michael. You're right. We should have put my family in danger. I was stupid. All right, can we shake? Whatever. Like, that would be terrible.
I would agree that would be too quick. And I don't see why we shouldn't see it sort of. Well, certainly the betrayal that she did to Stamets is worse than the betrayal she did to Saru, where. Although you could argue maybe it is just as bad.
It's similar.
Everybody ended up dead.
Right. Now, here's where I would be like, wow, show, I give you props. This will literally never happen. There is a 0% chance that this would happen, but I'm going to throw it out there as like,
okay.
I would give you guys such props.
You're like, excellent.
Okay. If the needs of the many indeed outweigh the needs of the few,
yes,
Saru, Culber, and Adira die. They're like, look,
that's not happening.
We had to sacrifice it, but look, we saved the Federation and the Emerald Chain are together, and it's a great thing. So
really, it'd be like, you killed him again? Like people would not be happy.
I'm just like,
you know,
it's
you
the
killed
thing of
Culber again.
because it's just a thing of Michael never seems
that's
to
not gonna
really
happen.
get repercussions. She got court-martialed in season 1,
Yeah.
and they thought, oh, that's fine. And then in this season, she got demoted. But otherwise, really, she makes these choices, and then she gets let off the hook. So in this case, look, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Oh, but we also saved the few, so it's fine. But like, if you no, we made a choice, and it was tough, and people died. And wow, okay,
Yeah,
but I stand by it.
See, but part of what you're assuming, though, is the fact that the rank and file would have a problem with her actions, and not just Stamets.
Yeah, I think they would have a problem with her assaulting him if he's like, look, she literally knocked me out.
I don't think so either. He's deciding himself that he's going to go someplace. He hasn't checked with anybody else. He hasn't, he's just like, oh, I'm going to go save them.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have anybody else's permission to do that.
That's true. Neither one of them had permission, basically.
Right. Yeah. So she's just keeping him from changing the situation. That's all. And also, too, taking away a tactical thing for Osira has. Like, she can't.
I get that. I get that.
Wants. Yeah.
I felt like maybe it's like hey, Stamets, no. We're not going to do this. I'm not going to attack you.
Like part of what she has is this functioning thing, and now she just took away that part. It's not functioning anymore.
So I think things we're going to see in the next episode. We've got the Navarre are going to make some kind of heroic appearance because of Michael's message to her mom. Aurelio's going to have a change of heart. It is going to betray Osira at some critical moment.
Yeah.
The shield.
They'll get back to the planet and find a way to get that guy out of there without him going nuts and starting to burn.
Correct. They're also going to save Saru, Adira, and Culber are all going to die. This is terrible. Obviously, they're going to save the crew. And the shield data is going to also aid in capturing probably Zara. Like that. Yeah, I guess at the moment, Zara is the Tilly. Hans Gruber is. I'm not sure how Tilly fits into the Die Hard motif there, but I think at the moment now it's Tilly versus Zara, and she's going to have the shield data with these little droids that now can go anywhere and surreptitiously do stuff on their behalf. And so that will happen as well. I think Osira will die. And
she's got to pay for what she did to that guy.
And so maybe that's it then. Because Osira dies, there's nothing standing in the way of we don't have to bring her to justice anymore unless we take her corpse to justice. So they'll sign some kind of thing, and there will be this treaty between the Emerald Chain and the Federation, and that's how we'll, I guess, go into season 4. I mean, I know I threw out some things there that were maybe somewhat negative at the end there, but I did enjoy this episode.
Oh yeah,
I was entertained when I watched it. I was entertained by what I saw. So that's a thumbs up, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they wrap this up. Definitely.
Yeah.
So thank you as always, Paul. Appreciate it, sir.
You're welcome, man.
And we'll talk to you guys next time. Talking The Expanse as well.
Yes.
So, bye.
Bye.